Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star 2 episode number 35 based on novel. So let's start. Luo Feng sat alone on the top of the cave mountain, watching the drizzle falling between heaven and earth. Among the 3,000 void calamity beasts, Luo Feng only immersed himself in meditation and comprehended the 8th level before stopping temporarily. On the one hand, the mind feels tired and needs a rest, and on the other hand, it is convenient to stop and think carefully. The experiences in the Tribulation Beast map are different from those of normal practitioners. Luo Feng thought to himself. It was born with blood in its stool and faced many tribulations. These tribulations are forcing it to despair and die completely. There is still order in the world of practitioners. The calamity beast experiences only calamity. If it despairs at some point, it will die. Only by possessing an immortal heart can one survive the endless calamity. Every time I pass through a catastrophe, I am reborn from the ashes. But what awaits me is the next catastrophe. It seems like there are endless catastrophes. I shudder just to experience the basic state of mind. Luo Feng said secretly. He had also experienced hardships and life and death tests, but not as much as this calamity beast had experienced. The calamities that came one after another seemed to be some kind of supreme rules. Luo Feng pondered and thought. He vaguely felt that these supreme rules were different from the supreme rules. The heart seems to be the most fragile. If the mind and will are destroyed and collapsed, even if one has a powerful divine body or a powerful secret weapon, they will not be able to exert their power. But if one has a strong mind, one can defeat powerful enemies with just willpower. The heart is a weakness but can also be the most powerful weapon. Luo Feng also admired this calamity beast at this moment. After going through so many terrible disasters, it finally arrived at the other side of the cliff and was completely reborn. Suddenly, Luo Feng felt that Morosa in the Star Tower was asking to come out. Master, let me out. Morosa telepathically communicated. As soon as Luo Feng thought about it, Morosa appeared out of thin air beside him. Morosa looked at the drizzle of wine outside and lay down happily, touching his belly comfortably. Xu Yin's body is still inside the Star Tower. Why are you taking a rest? Luo Feng looked at him. He knew everything that was going on inside the Star Tower very well. I am a little full, Morosa said telepathically while lying comfortably. I first swallowed the corpses of other eternal true gods, but they were not very helpful to me. But Yu Qin, whose corpse is too strong, and his blood is also very special. After absorbing it, I am a little full and can't digest it immediately. Even a world beast will be bloated if it eats too fast. Yu Qinshu uses the path of bloodline cultivation to make the divine body comparable to the infinite divine body. You can see the horror of bloodline. You will also be short of money, Luo Feng joked. I feel that if I digest it for a while, even if I don't absorb any more divine bodies, I will be able to reach the Chaos Realm in a few eons. Morosa stood up excitedly and telepathically transmitted, Master, if I continue to absorb the blood cloud divine body after a while, I feel that after swallowing it, I will be able to reach the Chaos Realm directly. Luo Feng was surprised. You're going to reach the Chaos Realm so soon? Ling Luo Feng looked at him. The Yutianhu divine body is comparable to the infinite divine body, but it is smaller in size, but its bloodline is extraordinary. And the blood cloud divine body is even more attractive to me than the Yutianhu divine body. Morosa telepathically transmitted, I am sure that after absorbing the blood cloud divine body's heart, I will be able to achieve the Chaos Realm. Master, when will you reach the Chaos Realm? Morosa said through telepathic communication. Luo Feng looked at him and said, how is your willpower training? I will go to the Star Tower later and I will learn the secret art of willpower from you. Hui Luosa smiled honestly. Go and teach Qing Chu Yang quickly. This kid hasn't even understood the 10 basic principles yet. Luo Feng urged. Yes. Morosa didn't dare to show off and immediately turned into a residual shadow and flew down the Xiong mountain to find Mo Yu Qingyang. Luo Feng shook his head slightly. Time passed day by day, and except for resting every few days, Luo Feng spent the rest of his time comprehending the diagram of the calamity beast. Suddenly one day, Master Mo Yuqingyan sent a message urgently. What's wrong? Luo Feng was currently comprehending the diagram of the calamity beast in the Star Tower in the underground hall. He knew that Mo Yuqingyan would not send a message easily, so he did not dare to disturb him easily. A personal letter from Marquis Le Yin. He Yuqingyan was also under pressure. He knew that it was a personal letter from a Chaos Lord, so he dared not report it to his master. Boom! The door to the underground hall opened and Luo Feng walked out. In a flash, the figure arrived outside the main entrance of the cave. Lord Luoha. A rock creature was standing at the main entrance of the cave, and he smiled innocently. I am Chen Shujio from Qiansha Chamber of Commerce. I have been asked by Liu Yin Marquis of Shi Country to help deliver this handwritten letter. Qiansha Chamber of Commerce is also a large chamber of commerce spread across many countries with several god kings behind it. It also has a branch in Huyang City. Thank you, Chen Huichang. Luo Feng knew the other party's identity. I'm just helping to deliver a letter. I'll take my leave now, said the rock creature with a smile. As the president of the Qiansha Chamber of Commerce in Huyang City, he has the highest status and influence in the city, but he is still very humble in front of Luo Feng. Luo Feng took the letter and watched the other party leave. As soon as the door closed, Luo Feng's figure flashed to the top of the mountain. Luo Feng immediately wanted to check the letter. As soon as the seal on the surface was opened, the letter began to burning into a ball of blood-red flame. This startled Luo Feng a little. Divine Power Incarnation. Luo Feng naturally saw that there was a ray of terrifying divine power hidden in this letter. When he opened it, he activated this ray of divine power. The blood-red flames condensed into a figure. He was wearing dark red armor and faintly exuding an aura of darkness and disaster. He smiled at Luo Feng. There were 2 balls of burning blood-red flames in his eyes. Even with a smile, Luo Feng still felt the darkness and terror carrying a strong threat. Marquis Le Yin. Luo Feng also knew some simple information about Marquis Le Yin. It's me. Liu Yin who smiled and nodded. I heard that a great eternal true God appeared in Huyang City. I came to see him in person. My lord, you are too famous. Compared with you, we eternal true gods are nothing. Luo Feng said immediately. Today you are the eternal true God. Perhaps in the future you will be the Lord of Chaos and my companion. Liu Yin who stood on the top of the mountain and looked at the vast city. Huyang City is a beautiful city. I intend to make it a part of my fiefdom. What do you think? Luo Feng immediately said, the fight between Liu Yin Shi Dunju and Jiujiang Han Dunju is not something that I, an eternal true God, can decide. Liu Yin who looked at the vast sky and sighed, the forces on the origin continent are mixed, and every resource has an owner. Even many of the most precious resources of the God King have no chance to intervene. If we want to climb the path of cultivation and evolve our lives to a higher level, self-cultivation is one part, and resources are another part. Liu Yin who looked at Luo Feng. The fiefdom of the Lord of Chaos is constantly determining the output of resources. It's a pity that I only have one Chaos State fiefdom, which is too small. Luo Feng listened. According to the rules of the Food Kingdom, the Chaos Lord only has one Chaos State fiefdom. If he wants to expand it, he needs to conquer it himself. Liu Yin who said, Jiujiang Chaos State is adjacent to me, and it is exactly the most suitable target for me. For my path of cultivation, I need to expand my fiefdom. Liu Yin who said, no one can stop me. Anyone who blocks me is blocking my path of cultivation. Liu Yin whose voice contained an unshakable will. If Lord Jiujiang were me, I would personally deal with him. Lord Liu Yin looked at Luo Feng. And in a battle at the level of the eternal true God, your own strength is enough to surpass the entire army of Huyang City. I hope you don't interfere in this matter. If you don't interfere, I will give you a gift and we can still be friends. If you interfere, you will ruin my business. Liu Yinhu looked at Luo Feng. Think about it. Is it necessary to risk your life for an irrelevant person like Zhu Jianghu? After saying this, Liu Mingho's figure disappeared. After learning about Luo Feng's intelligence, Liu Yinhu knew that Luo Feng hated evil, so it was difficult for him to use him. So he decided to use intimidation, hoping that Luo Feng would retreat, which would be a good thing. Even if he fails, he won't lose anything. It seems that this Liu Yin Marquis really wants to seize Zhejiang Chaos State. Luo Feng frowned slightly. It was obvious that the Chaos Lords also cared about the continuous output of resources from the fiefdom. I'd better be more cautious in the future, Luo Feng thought. In fact, Luo Feng had never intended to really protect Zhu Jianghu's life. No matter what the 5 major families in the City Lord's mansion usually do, or if he wants to lie low to deal with the rulers of the Food Kingdom in the future, there is no need to put himself in danger. Marquis Liu Yin came to see me personally. I'm afraid that Huyang City and even the entire Zhejiang Chaos State will usher in a war. Luo Feng thought for a while and then returned to the underground hall. The Zhejiang Chaos State should belong to the Zhejiang Marquis and the Yu Kingdom's God Kings instead of himself. It's just a few benefits, not worth risking your life for. Inside the Star Tower, Luo Feng sat cross-legged and looked at the picture of 3,000 void calamity beasts floating in the air. The calamity that the 533rd layer calamity beast experienced, in the process it also met some companions. Luo Feng could see that in addition to animals, there were also some calamity beast-like creatures on the map reflecting the void. But its companions fell one by one, and some were even killed by the calamity beast. On the 679th floor, the calamity beast has no companions. The lonelier it is, the stronger it becomes. Its mind and will are even more terrifying, and it successfully resolves all the disasters it encounters. Luo Feng vaguely felt that the path of spiritual practice on the diagram of the Calamity Beast belonged to the method of spiritual practice of the Calamity Beast. When it reached the 600th level, the will of the Calamity Beast had grown to a terrifying level, far surpassing Luo Feng at the moment. Just a thought could destroy the vast world and disintegrate the calamity of the invisible rules. Luo Feng realized a little bit and felt that his mind was also slowly transforming. The 852nd level Calamity Beast encountered the most terrifying one in history, which was another Calamity Beast. The 2 Calamity Beasts fought to the death. The fight lasted for a long time until the Calamity Beast on the 873rd layer of the Lukong reflection map completely won. This time the winning Calamity Beast also had a great transformation. Luo Feng only looked at the 3,000 void beasts pictures, and some of the artistic conception he could experience from these scrolls seemed to have turned into calamity beasts and become charmed together, which also made Luo Feng gain a lot. The mind can be big or small. It can be an enemy of the supreme rules, or it can be integrated with countless weak ones. When the 873rd floor beast completely won and transformed, Luo Feng's spiritual practice of the beast became more aware of his own mind, and it was also slowly transforming. As early as when he was a true god, he had slowly transformed into a peak state of mind that could rival the peak of the Chaos Lord. When he was nurtured by a powerful divine body and honed by the secret method of legend technique, with the help of many resources, especially the glimpse of another method of spiritual practice he gained from the map of 3,000 void tribulation beasts, he finally pushed Luo Feng's spiritual will to completely break through that bottleneck. Today, June 8th, happens to be Luo Feng's birthday. Luo Feng's mental willpower also broke through to the God King level today. At this moment, the will of the mind has completely entered a new world. If Luo Feng's will of the mind before was, time is tough and indestructible, the world is destroyed but my heart is not moved, and it can cut through all obstacles on the road. At this moment, Luo Feng's spiritual will has a new charm. The spiritual will can be gathered into a force as powerful as the heaven and earth, or it can be divided into billions of vitality. Even if Luo Feng's mind and will were terribly attacked, as long as a little bit of it remained, he could quickly recover to his peak. This is the spiritual path that Luo Feng comprehended from the Calamity Beast diagram, the immortal heart. Only with the immortal heart can one survive through countless calamities and reach the final shore, completely transformed. My mind and will have long reached the peak of the Chaos Master level. But even if I become an eternal true God, my divine body is more than 1,000,000,000 times larger. I have practiced the fierce Yuan technique for more than 20 centuries and still haven't made a breakthrough. It's because I have never understood the essence of it. If you don't have the essence of understanding, then you have to rely on time to hone your skills. I'm afraid it will take thousands or even tens of thousands of years to hone your skills in the legendary art before you can break through to the God King level of will. Luo Feng suddenly realized something at this moment. Time is magical. After a long time of hard work, there will be a harvest in the end. But the fact that I was able to break through the 3,000 void tribulation beast diagrams in a short period of time played a big role, which also made my cognition of spiritual will change. I only comprehended a little bit of the diagram of the calamity beast and was able to transform myself. How terrifying is this real calamity beast? Luo Feng thought, this time my will has transformed, and my strength has finally improved greatly. I have the means to deal with the Lord of Chaos. Luo Feng felt a lot more relaxed. In the past, it relied on the will of the Chaos Peak and the fierce Yuan technique, but many Chaos Lords have multiple inheritances and all have relatively powerful will secrets. Even some talented people can comprehend the origin of the avenue and create their own will secrets. Even if their willpower cannot reach the peak of chaos, the difference will not be too big. Therefore, once they fight, the difference in willpower is not big, and it is difficult to defeat the opponent just by relying on the advantage of legend technique. An injured Chaos Lord can still launch a frenzied counterattack. According to Master's intelligence, only a few Chaos Lords can break through to the Divine King level. Luo Feng thinks that anyone below the Divine King level willpower will be no match for me. With the advantage of the art of arrays, he is able to sweep through most of the Chaos realm. According to the teacher's speculation, as my strength increases, the advantage of the element technique will become smaller and smaller. Luo Feng understood that this intelligence record was a legend that had escaped from the cage in the origin continent. He also taught many younger generations and left behind some inheritances, and the art of forming elements is just one of them. The inheritance left by Yuan did cause competition among various forces on the origin continent, and in the end, most of it was controlled by the two ancient countries. And Master, I suspect that there should be ancient beings in the two ancient countries who have escaped from the cage, because the two ancient countries are much stronger than other countries, and they have more mysterious and powerful inheritances. For example, the emperor of the ancient country Yangfeng who painted this picture, I only understood a little bit and made a breakthrough, but he watched the Jie Beast country and painted many Jie Beast pictures by himself. Luo Feng understood a little bit. These Jie Beast pictures were sold for 15 million universe sands each. But for the emperor of the ancient country of Yangfeng, he probably didn't care about the cosmic sand at all. What he was doing was drawing pictures of calamity beasts again and again. Every time I paint, it is a spiritual practice. The Emperor Dao who painted the picture of the tribulation beasts must have reached a very high level of spiritual will. Luo Feng could sense how big the gap was between himself and the painter even after looking at a portion of the picture of the 3,000 void tribulation beasts. His own mind and will had just entered the realm of the God King, and the other party, the ancient country of Yangfeng, was indeed unfathomable. One emperor is so terrifying, there must be more than one similar existence. The stronger Luo Feng becomes, the calmer his mentality becomes. He has no pride at all, and there are many people who are stronger than him. But he is not humble at all. He has the will of a God King when he is in the stage of eternal true God. When he becomes a God King in the future, what level of realm will his spiritual will reach? Call. Luo Feng glanced at the 3,000 void tribulation beasts floating in the air, and left the Star Tower in an instant. Luo Feng came out of the underground hall and saw Morosa eating and drinking comfortably at the foot of the mountain. It's been so long and I still haven't digested it. Luo Feng walked closer to Morosa. Morosa smiled innocently. We can't waste the effect. We have to digest it completely. I guess I can go into seclusion again in a few days. Luo Feng understood. The next time he went into seclusion was when Morosa devoured the blood cloud divine body and achieved the Chaos Ton realm. By then, I will be able to break through and master a variety of great talents and secrets. Morosa telepathically transmitted, I will also be able to show the master the complete law of chaos. It's up to you. Luo Feng smiled slightly. The higher the Morosa realm, the more mysteries of the origin of destruction will be revealed to him, which naturally includes the law of chaos. The law of chaos is magical and is the foundation of any kind of origin. The world beasts are indeed the darlings of the supreme rules and naturally master the origin of destruction. Once they become adults, they can finally and completely master the origin of destruction and possess incredible abilities. Master, I feel like you are different today. Morosa looked at Luo Feng. Because they were soul-slaved servants, he could vaguely sense the changes in his master. You must have gained some insights from your practice. Luo Feng said, eat slowly. As he spoke, Luo Feng reached the top of the mountain in a flash. Morosan took a look and muttered to himself, I will reach the Chaos Realm first after some comprehension. It feels so good to be stronger than my own master Luo Ren. Morosa feels so good. Luo Feng and his wife Shushin are traveling in the small universe of their hometown Luo Feng. The human civilization in this small universe with a diameter of billions of light years is too prosperous. Although Luo Feng could sense countless planets in the small universe with a single thought, that would be boring. He did not deliberately investigate but accompanied his wife to travel around and experience the freshness of each place. Luo Feng, come with me, let's go and see the sacred trees on this planet. Over 70% of this planet is a sacred tree. It's really interesting. Shushin said. You go first. Luo Feng said, I have something to do today. I'll go first. Shushin was stunned. Just send an incarnation of divine power to do the job. I don't even have the energy to accompany you anymore. Her husband's realm was so high that he could use so many divine incarnations to act at the same time. Today is different. Luo Feng shook his head. Even his real body, who was far away at the other end of the reincarnation channel, needed to rest and do his best. What's the matter? Shushin asked curiously. Deal with the original universe. Luo Feng said. Shushin was shocked. Deal with the original universe. Well, I need it to completely open up the origin of the original universe to me. Luo Feng said. When the original universe was destroyed in the last reincarnation era, I once entered the origin of the original universe. It's just that at that time, the original universe only allowed me to stay in a small corner of the origin land. I now want to completely open up every corner of the original universe's origin. Luo Feng said. There is no hidden information about the Master's power, the Duandonga lineage, or even some information circulating on the origin continent that is recorded for Yuansha Yuyu. The 3,000-dimensional original universe, those who have come back to the origin continent through reincarnation, if they are strong enough, they will have the hope of taking over the original universe. But the original Yushans will is usually very strong, at least a chaos level will or even a God King level will is needed to succeed, so there are still very few successful possessions. But every successful person is very helpful to practice. That is to say, the soul of the mountain guest is originally a God King, so he does not have much ambition to seize the original universe. Completely open the place of origin? Shushin didn't quite understand. But once you hear it, you know it's special. In that situation, the life and death of the original universe's will is in my hands, Luo Feng explained. I can wipe out his will at any time. I can use my own will to control the entire original universe. So the original universe's will not agree easily. I have never thought of erasing its will. The premise for me to give it a chance to survive is that it completely opens up its origin to me. Luo Feng said. This is the greatest opportunity for every strong person who comes back to the origin continent after reincarnation. Are you sure? Shushin asked. There wasn't one in the past, but there is one now. Luo Feng said. According to the intelligence, the will naturally nurtured by the original universe, even if it is carried by the original universe, cannot match the will of the God King. Be careful. Xu knew the importance of her husband's matter. We should be more careful about the original universe. Luo Feng smiled slightly. At this moment, a ray of divine power incarnation has already emerged from the small universe and shuttled through the void, truly approaching the original universe. At this moment, Luo Feng's real body and other incarnations were resting, and almost all of their consciousness was concentrated on this incarnation of divine power, making the consciousness of this incarnation of divine power exceptionally huge. Boom! Luo Feng's divine incarnation had just come close to the original universe, and his invisible spiritual will crushed it. The former is a weak incarnation of divine power. The latter is an incomparably vast primordial universe. Without the constraints of the supreme rules, when Luo Feng's spiritual will collided with the original universes will begin to vibrate. Thus, a wave of vibration came to inquire about Luo Feng's purpose. You should know that as a living being born from the original universe, I am strong enough and have the right to control the original universe. This video will end here.